Bushcraft. What is it? Well, first and foremost, it's that love of being connected with nature, using what she's provided to keep ourselves alive and even flourish in places that would otherwise die. Each corner of the world has its own unique challenges. So whether you're starting out or a journeyman, it doesn't matter. There will always be new challenges to overcome and new lessons to learn. Don't be disheartened. We must all start somewhere. Even the best had to learn. That's the way of any craft. Renowned naturalist and adventurer John Moore is famous for having said, "The mountains are calling, and I must go." For me, that is the heart of bushcraft. That's why I'm here in the mountains of Norway. I want to push myself and find out just where my limits lie. The mountains have called me, and I have answered her call. After driving for hours, I finally arrived at my destination. I got my things into the house and decided that I was going to have an early night. Waking up with the sun peeking over the mountains was an amazing treat. I could not have asked for a better day to be going out into the cold. So, I started laying my gear out to make sure I hadn't forgotten anything, as if I forget anything critical in this cold, it could result in frostbite. With that done, I got to open my package with my snow boots inside. They are super comfortable and warm. Then I clipped in my snowshoes, attached Sam, my dog, to his belt harness, and with one last check, we were ready for our adventure. It's days like this that I'm reminded just how wonderful it is to be out in nature. Even when hauling a sledge up a mountain, there are moments when you just stop and are awe-inspired from the view. That's what keeps me moving forward. The day started out slowly as usual, but as the day went on, I started gaining momentum. I love how much more in tune I am with my own body. With only the bird song and the breeze to break the silence, I could hear my own heartbeat as I pulled the sledge up the steeper parts of the climb. With the moon starting to rise and the daylight quickly fading, I was close to my destination. With one more push to get where I wanted to go, I would be at my location for camp for the night. I was exhausted from pulling my sledge, but I had made it. But now, the real hard work begins. I now had to clear the snow out. and dig down to the frozen ground to make enough space to set up camp. The snow on the bottom layer had been compacted a fair bit and was pretty heavy to move, but with some time and some hard graft, I got it finished. Now it was time to pitch my tent. Getting the pegs into the frozen ground was a challenge, as I did not bring any ice pegs. But eventually I got them in, compacting snow over the top of them to stop them coming out. With the last light reflecting over the mountains, I started my campfire. I thought it was time to eat something. I had planned to make a special meal, but I was exhausted and had opted for something fairly simple instead. Sweet corn, meatballs, and with them cooking, I pulled out a bottle of cider to drink, which had frozen, and I had to heat it up a little next to the fire. It was hardly the most delicious meal I'd ever eaten, but after an intense day, it did just fine.
Here we are, guys, in my little tent. My sleeping bag, my reindeer skins, my inflatable pillow. I've got a mat underneath my sleeping bag, and some pyjamas, thermal pyjamas that I'm going to put on, and I've got a sleeping bag liner and a blanket to put over the top of that, or the puppers if he needs it, because it is pretty cold. It's about -10 at the moment. Hey baby. Yeah, the dog wants to go in. He's ready to snuggle up. I'm ready to snuggle up. I don't know, it's about 11 o'clock. I got hot chocolate, so do some jumping jacks now. Get my breath going. I don't want to sweat though, I just want to be warm. So that when I'm ready to be warm, then I can swap over, and I've got my mittens to put on inside my sleeping bag as well. So yeah, I am ready.
Waking up in the morning, after a fairly comfortable night at -10, I was greeted with this view. I could not have asked for a more beautiful sight. I got the stove out, I made myself a hot chocolate and had my breakfast. The views around me just kept taking my breath away. It was now time to pack up and get ready for the journey home. But it had been an amazing experience, and one I hope to do again. But next time, for longer. But the point is, I wanted to push myself and see if I'm able to do what I set out to do. So, with that mission accomplished, next time I will push myself further. Maybe some of you have noticed, I'm not exactly a beauty pageant model. Well, not anymore. And I'm not exactly going to win any races up the mountains. Though, you wouldn't want to face me in a pie eating contest. I become what the Norwegians say, bergtass, which means taken by the mountains. She's called me. She does not care about age. She does not care about health, nor body, nor gender, or anything else. The outdoors is part of us all, even fat trans people like me. I mean, if I can get out there and do it, then what the hell's stopping you?